Hey guys, welcome to our video about running A/B experiments on your app product pages on the App Store and Google Play. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. I'm Alexandra. I'm head of marketing here at SplitMetrics, an app A/B testing tool, and Search HQ, which is Apple Search Ads optimization software. I'm a maker of AppGrowth Lab and an author of the book Apple Search Ads, the ultimate, always updated guide. Today, we are going to review each and every step of the standard A/B testing workflow and key success factors. We'll deconstruct the following activities. So, preparation. We will talk about research and analysis. Then we will talk about variations brainstorming. We will dive into designing variations. Then we will go to A/B testing. We will check out how to run A/B tests and evaluate results. And we will discuss after testing activities, how to implement results and track them, and how and why to run follow-up experiments. So using our step-by-step guide to A/B testing of your App Store product pages, you'll manage, I promise that you'll manage to improve your app's conversion rate and make the most out of your marketing budget. Sounds great, right? So let's get started. First, let's make clear what A/B testing really is in the context of App Store optimization. Basically, A/B testing is a method of hypothesis checking. It's necessary to distribute traffic equally among two or more variants of your App Store page element, for instance, icons, screenshots, or videos. Visitors of pages under the test behave like an average user would on your app product page. Thus, you identify the variation with the best performance. Split testing doesn't only result in app conversion rate improvement, actually. It also assists in the validation of various audience segments, traffic channels, and product positioning. Moreover, pre-launch experiments help to evaluate a product and qualify ideas. This means your marketing activity will be as effective as possible from the very beginning. However, A/B testing is not as straightforward and easy as it may seem at first. So there are certain aspects you should consider to find success. But don't be afraid, I'll point out the areas that demand your closest attention. The truth is, leading companies don't A/B test random changes these days. They'd rather use research and elaborate strong hypotheses based on the collected data. That's why thorough research and analysis should always be the first step to meaningful A/B testing. Unfortunately, if you are not ready to spare time for a thorough preparation, the chances of your experiment success shrink to zero. So we can't underestimate the importance of researching and analyzing the market, competitors, and target audience. So where to find inspiration for your A/B test? So you can follow the following steps. You can start with the following steps. You can study app pages of your competitors carefully. You can determine trends and best practices in your app category. And you can also take a closer look at the industry leaders. For example, at Booking.com using split screenshots or flight simulator using beautiful landscape app reviews. Then after that, you think how you can reflect the best practices in the design of your app product page elements. Another aspect you should think over properly is your target audience. Having a clear portrait of your ideal users is a must. You should know everything about your target users, from basic things like age and sex to their interests and preferences. These insights will help to adapt your future App Store creatives and ad campaigns. So, by the way, constant A/B testing helps to perfect your target audience portrait. If you create ad groups with different audience settings, just to check which one performs better. Sounds good, right? So, the research stage also includes the qualification of traffic sources. Guys, it's really important to discover ad channels that bring more loyal users. You can use A/B testing for such qualification as as well, launching campaigns with the identical targeting in different ads networks and comparing their performance later. So determining the most effective ad channel doesn't only make your A/B experiments more meaningful. This knowledge is essential, it almost goes without saying, for any marketing campaign in general. According to the experience of our clients, SplitMetrics clients, Facebook and AdWords proved themselves as the best traffic sources for A/B experiments. Other ad channels have major shortcomings, such as loads of filtered visitors due to overall low quality or of traffic and fraud. So if you decide to use cross promotion for your A/B test, just get ready that you'll need way more traffic to achieve statistically significant results. At fulfilling the above-mentioned steps, you can proceed to variations brainstorm, which should always involve hypothesis elaboration. That is my favorite part. It is impossible to overstress the importance of a solid hypothesis for A/B testing. Keep in mind that thoughtless split experiments are doomed from the very beginning. Unfortunately, the truth is. So A/B test for the sake of A/B test just make absolutely no sense. So it definitely makes sense to take time and mull over a solid hypothesis worth proving. So, okay, hypothesis, we talk about that, but what is it actually? What makes a good hypothesis? So remember that it is, first of all, it is a bold statement. It can be formulated as an open-ended question. A main hypothesis should say what you plan to learn from an A/B test. So any A/B test hypothesis should contain the following elements. Like, first, a proposed solution. What do you plan to change? For example, I want to use landscape screenshots instead of portrait ones. Then you need to find the anticipated result of implementing the solution. For example, what do you expect? My app will get more taps in search. And then the reason why you want to test this. So this element is highly recommended but not obligatory. So why? For example, since it will stand out from competing app listings. Boom. So here is another example of a good hypothesis formulated based on the above-mentioned model. If I change the orientation of the screenshots from landscape to portrait, my app will get more installs as my target users are not hardcore gamers and are not used to landscape mode. So by the way, this is the hypothesis that allowed Rovio to boost conversions and get 2 million more installs. I'd like to stress that it's useless to A/B test practically identical variations. So don't expect stellar results running an experiment for two icons for your game depicting the same character. So what can be tested then? In fact, it's always a good idea to test various characters, background colors, even characters' facial expression. So let best practices you found out during the research be your inspiration for the test you can run. And once you came up with variations, layouts based on the hypothesis, so you should prepare a technical design specification and proceed to the next step of the A/B testing workflow, which is designing variations for your experiment. And the designers take all fun here. So yeah, but still, while you screenshot icons, etc. In the process, you can clearly A/B test subtitles, app names, and promo text. By the way, what we've realized from recent A/B experiments is that powerful subtitles can show up to 25% conversion uplift. So why not to test? Now, you can get down to A/B testing last, but trust me, time spent on the above mentioned steps is just really worth it. A/B testing won't even bother you if you decide to test with SplitMetrics, for example, the tool which will distribute audience members automatically, landing these users on two different variations. All you have to do is to fill your experiment with smartly targeted visitors, and the platform will do everything else for you. You will see which variation converts best and be able to analyze and understand why it works better. It is essential to understand that no A/B experiment succeeded without decent and well-considered traffic. So guys, you may have awesome creatives and use the best in the world A/B testing platform, but the poor quality and insufficient volume of traffic will predetermine the failure of your A/B experiment. So running an A/B test, you should reach a really high confidence level before considering the experiment finished. What's confidence? Confidence actually is the statistical measurement, is a statistical measurement used to evaluate the reliability of an estimate. For example, 97% confidence level indicates that the result of the test will hold true 97 times out of 100. So the good question is actually, the next question is, how much traffic do you need then to run a meaningful experiment and to achieve this confidence level? Unfortunately, there is no gold standard number which will guarantee high confidence level. The necessary volume of traffic is highly individual and depends on myriads of factors such as traffic source, as different channels have different conversion potency, the conversion rate of the app product page. So the better the conversion, the faster you reach the required confidence level. And of course, targeting, which comes from the previous factors. Trustworthy traffic sources provide great targeting options, which fuel good conversion of the product page under the task. So according to SplitMetrics observations, it normally takes at least 50 clicks to install per variation to get statistically significant results. On average, you need around 400-500 users per variation for a test on your app product page, and around from 800 to 1,000 users per variation if you run an experiment on the search or category page. These numbers can help you just take your bearings, but again, the index is highly individual. As I've mentioned before, one of the most impactful things you should consider is targeting. Smart targeting helps you get statistically significant results, buying less traffic, and eventually paying less. That's why it is so important to study your primary audience in the course of the research phase. So the more granular your targeting, the better results you get. And for this reason, lots of publishers prefer to drive traffic from Facebook, as the platform offers great targeting options. So to ensure trustworthy and high quality of test results, we need not only to drive users and drive traffic, but also to filter it. So we want to filter users that don't meet targeting requirements, for example, Android users visiting iOS experiments. We want to filter bots and fraudulent traffic. We also do not want to see repetitive visits, and also we should consider missteps and misclicks. All these factors influence the conversion and actually your confidence level. If you run your A/B tests with SplitMetrics, it won't let you fill your experiments with absolutely relevant traffic thanks to built-in filters. I'd recommend you to run your experiments for at least 7-10 days before finishing. It will guarantee you get high-quality traffic and you capture users' behavior during all weekdays, making the results even more accurate. As it was said before, confidence level is one of the most important metrics which helps to determine when to finish your experiment. Once you track the behavior of sufficient number of users, you can stop your test. And once you finish your experiment, the fun part begins. You find out whether your hypothesis was wrong or right and try to find reasons behind the obtained results. Thus, the evaluation of A/B testing results begins. I can't stress enough the importance of understanding that there is no such thing as negative results when it comes to A/B testing. Even if your new design suffers a crushing defeat from the old one, the experiment prevents mindless upload of these new creatives to the store. So an A/B test with negative results averts mistakes that could cost you app installs, thousands of app installs. So prepare yourself to the fact that your assumptions will be wrong as a rule. Yet finding a game-changing product page layout definitely worth the effort. For example, one of the coolest A/B tests I've seen so far. We had a great A/B test with one of our clients where guys have A/B tested one against 3 app reviews for their game. And guess what? One app review wins. Why? So doesn't more app reviews mean more conversions? Not always. And a negative result is the best, most insightful result they could get, because it gives them 3 clear points on how to develop 3 high-converting app reviews, which they will apply to their app product page. First, app reviews should show an app from different angles. Second, the main features should be highlighted through the captions. And third, screenshots should complement app reviews, not duplicate. They wouldn't know this if they not run this A/B test. They don't run this A/B test. So there is one more metric you should consider before deciding to use a winning variation in the App Store. This metric is called improvement. It shows increase or decrease in the conversion rate over the variations in comparison to the control one. If an A/B experiment shows that your new design wins by 1% or less, don't rush to upload it to the store straight away. Remember, that only the advantage of at least 3-4% can really impact the conversion of your App Store product page. Right, so we've encountered cases when publishers draw quality traffic to the experiments, but the confidence level refuses to grow. So where to find the problem? It normally happens because of a similar performance of the variations due to weak hypotheses. So keep in mind that even if your variations look totally different, it doesn't prove the strength of your hypothesis. So in such a situation, it is highly recommended to finish the experiment and revise creatives. Conversion changes analysis is a must here. It's obvious. There is no denying. Yet, don't forget to spare time to explore other metrics like video metrics, scroll heat maps, time on page, interaction funnels, screenshot stats, behavioral segments, and many more. These insights will help you understand the reasons behind a low or high conversion and develop ideas for future A/B experiments. Now it's high time for the next step, implementation and tracking of results. So providing you find a clear winner, you can implement the result in the App Store straight away. It goes without saying that you should track the conversion changes after the upload of the optimized product page elements. If you stay consistent with your A/B testing activity, the results will speak for themselves, I promise it. Nevertheless, your conversion won't change overnight. It normally takes 1-2 months to see a new trend gain ground. And remember that any app store is a compound, ever-changing environment teeming with factors influencing your app's performance. So for instance, let's imagine you tested your new screenshots on users from, let me see, Hong Kong. You got stunning results and uploaded them to the US store. As it's your core market, you expect the same conversion boost you saw, right? So, but nothing really happens. It's super easy to start claiming A/B testing worthless in this situation, but targeting and inaccuracy is to blame here. The same is true when you apply the results of A/B testing in the Google Play to the App Store, failing to acknowledge the difference between Android and iOS users. They're just unlike perception of the store and varying behavior patterns. So therefore, 3 most popular reasons behind low results on the App Store are wrong region, wrong targeting, and wrong store. So if you decide to try A/B testing, the main recommendation is to be diligent and consistent. And you want to test only one element and only one change at a time. Experimenting with different concepts at once, you will probably get just crazy results requiring multiple access follow-up tests. And it's crucial to turn A/B testing into an essential part of your App Store optimization strategy. App stores are fast-paced systems subject to constant changes. That's why it's critically important to run follow-up experiments to be able to scale results. For example, as in the case of our client Zima, they've run a series of A/B tests checking the performance of different variations and getting lower conversions all the time until they finally tapped the variation that had shown almost a 20% increase in the conversion rate. For them, it means 20% more target installs. Sounds great, right? So when it comes to the app's conversion, there is always room for improvement. and well-structured approach to A/B testing can help you become an App Store high flyer. Let's do like that. So if you want to reap the maximum benefits from A/B testing your product page, mind the following 4 golden rules. Let's sum up. So your variations should look like App Store pages to ensure natural behavior of users. That is why you cannot just ask people whether they like an icon or not. You should put them to the App Store to make them decide. Only one hypothesis should be tested within one experiment. Then, statistically significant results can be attained only if you fill the test with enough traffic and high quality traffic. The rule is simple actually. So the higher conversion, the fewer users you need. It's a good idea also to run an A/B experiment for 2 weeks to track behavior on all weekdays. So as in all things, success in A/B testing requires time, dedication. So providing you are ready to take time and use your with split testing, just will become a safeguard to your app store optimization arsenal. So A/B experiments don't only boost apps performance on both paid and organic traffic, they also provide essential metrics and analytics which can and should be applied in your marketing activities. So guys, I really hope that you've learned a lot about successful A/B testing from this video, and you're ready to apply the secrets to your App Store optimization activity. So guys, if you have any questions or want to chat, feel free to connect on LinkedIn. Just find me, Alexandra Lomachenko, or drop me a line at alexandra@splitmetrics.com. I will be super happy to help and chat with you. So happy A/B testing, and thanks again for watching our video. See ya!